partner. I am just so excited to be here with you. I'm the host of HTL today, and welcome back to those that actually have been watching. And for the new viewers, hey, you're in for a very special treat today because, see, each week we invite the most dedicated professionals that work in the industry, from the front of the house to the back of the house to all walks of life throughout the globe. And we'd like for them to share their firsthand experience, stories, and lessons. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Xavier Smith. He is joining us here live. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about him. Xavier is an author, a very popular author and speaker. As a matter of fact, he has presented for several different organizations like MPI within the hospitality profession. He's also a CEO, coach for Xcellent Solutions, and he really is living the mission to impact, inspire, and improve the lives of others. Now, I'm really excited about having Xavier on the show today because we know that the hospitality professionals, we all are going through a lot of heartache, a lot of devastation, a lot of depression, a lot of uneasiness and uncomfortableness that's been going on here. But I believe Xavier is the man to help. Why? Well, because he has personally dealt with many of life's pitfalls. I mean, from a heart attack at the age of 29, having to survive a hit and run drunk driving accident, and more. So, yet, I want you to be prepared because with Xavier, you're actually going to have a lot of fun at the same time, especially since we are going to have you here with us with this excellent conversation with Coach X. So let's find out what's keeping this guy's train moving forward with love. I think you're just going to definitely enjoy the positive people builder, my good friend, Xavier Smith. Hello, Xavier.
What's happening, guys? Oh, thank you so much for allowing me to be with you. I'm super duper excellently excited to be here with you all today.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that because I've just been waiting for this because I know, like I mentioned, the hospitality industry has really been going through some tough times. And I know you are the person to really bring a lot of a lot of tips, strategies, techniques. And I believe we're going to exercise. I've got my exercise outfit on and my hair ponytail up, and I'm ready to get moving because that's what it's going to be all about. So tell our viewers, who is Xavier Smith and how did he go on that journey from mediocre to excellence?
Wow. Thank you for the question, first of all, Deborah. And to answer the question, who is Xavier? The first words that come into my mind, we're going on a little journey right now to a little bit of the esoteric space, but Xavier is love. He's compassion. He is caring. I like to say the words, I care more than the average bear. And I believe that aspect alone is kind of helps me separate from the pack. But coming down to a more practical level, I'm just a guy who wants to help, I believe that my life, once upon a time, I used to think of my life as from a victim standpoint, where I thought things like, why is this happening to me? Looking for support from others and wanting to blame others. To flash forward to now, I realized that everything was happening for me. And that comes from a victorious mindset. So today, the person that you see in this screen is one who wants to use all of his life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, to serve. Because I've been a few places in my life that some people are headed towards and probably don't want to be there. So somebody like me can step in and kind of be that guide from the side to help them avoid some of the pitfalls that I've already experienced. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And knowing you for many, many years, you are a go-getter. And I have seen you inspire people from all walks of life, from your garage to the stage, as a matter of fact. And it's been wonderful to see your development in your business. Just knowing what you have gone through in the past, and we know everybody's going through a lot of stuff right now, and it's like a cycle that just doesn't end. As a matter of fact, just to give you some statistics about the hospitality industry that just was released this morning, live events and meetings employ over 1 trillion annually to the U.S. economy. That's how big we are. We're bigger than the automobile industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the retail industry. The meetings and events industry is larger than any industry except the government. But that's how much of an impact they have. They said 95% of those meetings, events have been canceled because of COVID-19. Flat out canceled. Yes, there's been some that have been postponed and rescheduled, but flat out canceled, that's a high number. 77% of the people in the industry have lost 100% of their income. 96% of companies have cut their staff, and that includes those that plan the meetings and events. And 97% of 1099 workers have lost their jobs. And that's 4.2 million in the hospitality industry alone. So my question for you, Xavier, and it's a very serious question, what have you seen in regards to how people are dealing with the pandemic, especially those in the hospitality industry? What have they been going through? What has it been about all this time that you've witnessed?
Well, for me, in my world, and the way I see this, what I have seen is definitely a different landscape change, like a complete and utter reversal of what things used to be like maybe 9 months ago.
Right.
From, flash forward to now, the landscape is totally different, right?
Absolutely.
Like, people are having to learn on the fly how to adapt, how to overcome. And fortunately for me, I'm a 10-year Air Force veteran, and that was one of our mottos: adapt and overcome. Because when, coming from a guy who's seen war, I know that there are opportunities, even in the midst of what it seems like chaos. Most of the times, if we look carefully enough and if we stay calm enough to realize and ask ourselves better questions, we could come up with better solutions. And for me, this is what I see. This right here is opportunity for us to learn how to be flexible in our approach to life, because life demands that.
Right.
And it's an opportunity for us to learn, even though we're going to struggle. And here's what I have to say about that. Think about this, Deborah. No one here on earth, including Jesus himself, came out of the womb running full sprints.
That's right. Especially since he didn't have any shoes on.
Right. So if we take that into the context of our lives, we have to understand going into it that there's going to be some struggle. How many times did you fall on your butt when you were learning how to walk?
Exactly.
Right?
Thousands of times.
Exactly. So here we have that opportunity to, yes, we're going to fall. We're going to learn. You notice I was getting ready to say fail, but it's not really a failure if you don't give up.
Right.
So for me, it's just the opportunity for us to learn how to pivot. And maybe, if you lost your job, it's probably a good thing. I got a floating shelf right above this camera. If I can turn the camera around and show you a library of books that are written for situations like this, laid off, tell yourself good, because there's a good opportunity for you to do something else.
Sure.
So the opportunity is there. We just have to kind of sift through all the stuff that we don't want and start picking up those little nuggets of little things that we do want and start stockpiling those little things that make you feel good. And hopefully today I can be one of those feel good generators.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I'm a big believer, if you're afraid to fail, you'll never know what to learn. So today it's about not pivoting. It's about adapting, like you mentioned. And with especially the war that, you have participated in, that experience alone probably definitely taught you how to adapt and change. Yes. And I'm a big believer that things around you don't change. The only thing that changes is you, and it's up to you to make that change. And that's why we're here today to talk to all these hospitality peeps out there, hoping that they'll chime in and on this conversation with some comments and questions for you as well, because this is a perfect opportunity. And I know you're a very busy man, but this is a very big opportunity for anybody that would like to ask you some questions pertaining to their struggles and their challenges, because we're in a safe space zone because everybody's going through it today, everybody. So if there's somebody out there that has some questions for Xavier, by all means, chime in. He's here, right here with us, right here on HTL, and we might as well take advantage of that. So thank you again, Xavier, for being here. So why not share with our viewers here? Again, we've got a lot of repeat viewers. We got some new viewers here. What are some of those things that you want to say and share being on this show? I know you have some 3 verb virtues that you really believe in, and I'd love to hear what those are and how to break those down so everybody can understand and move forward, especially to start getting off the couch and really running forward as much as possible.
Well, in you asking me about my 3 verb virtue, let me just first of all explain what that is. The whole reason that I am here, the whole reason I have been sent here, is to impact, inspire, and improve the lives of others on a daily basis. And today is no different. That's why I said yes to this opportunity, because anytime I can use my life, and that's the only time I feel confident and comfortable enough to use the word expert, is being an expert in my own life. And once I have gained the confidence to use everything that happened in my life as a service platform to help other people learn from my mistakes and learn how to avoid some of those pitfalls, I just, kind of took that and ran with it. Because I'll tell you a story, if I may, Deborah. One of the life drivers that I have experienced, as you already know, was the heart attack. Now, this happened on a Friday evening. I was actually playing basketball with my younger brother, and I was stationed in Italy at the time. And so he was talking in my ear about maybe coming out to move out to Arizona to start a real estate dynasty. So I came out to visit. So I was on leave, and we were playing basketball at ASU practice facility. And I took a jump shot, and I remember it like it was yesterday. After I came down from the jump shot, it felt like an elephant had just busted the doors open in the gym, looked directly in my eyes, and came to me and sat on my chest. And so from that point on, I was like, okay, something doesn't feel right. And that whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and a little bit of Sunday, I slept on it. Because I was thinking that, at 29, it's just a case of heartburn or indigestion or something like that. So I slept on it the whole weekend. And around, I think it was Sunday morning or maybe Monday morning, can't remember exactly, but I had my brother take me into the Chandler Regional Medical Center. And 45 minutes later, the doc comes with this paperwork hitting the ground, and he's like, "Mr. Smith, you had a myocardial infarction." I didn't even know what that was. I couldn't even spell it, let alone tell you what it was. But in a nutshell, my arteries were clogged by 50% with cholesterol. And that's when I started learning about, my family history and things that I could have done to avoid this happening. And that's when I started learning how to ask myself better questions so I can create a better life. And that was one of the few driving incidents that has helped shape who I am today. One of those incidents that helped me decide that I was going to use my life to serve instead of, just worrying about what people could do for me. Because I lived a 17-year jail sentence. And I'll have to tell you about that if you're interested, because I was incarcerated for 17 years. But going back to the heart attack, that's when I started asking myself, how can I use what happened to me? And if I'm still here, since my creator saw it fit for me to be here, what am I supposed to do with this now? And that's what got me into learning about nutrition, using myself as the experiment. And I knew I didn't want this life. I didn't want to go down the road of taking medications for the rest of my life and depending on that. So I started, getting better, started reading, started learned about what my blood type really likes. And then I just went from there and started turning that around and helping other people. Because, if I could help myself, I'm sure I can learn something to help somebody else. And that's kind of where I'm at now, just using my life for the better.
Wow, that is something else. And your comeback you're like a comeback champion. I mean, one thing after another you have been dealing with. And it's interesting because for the hospitality industry, this is not our first rodeo going through what we're going through with the pandemic. We've been doing, been faced with many things like the rest of the world, but this one was a beast. And I think a lot of people don't know how to handle it. And that's why I believe looking to somebody like you that have been through the ringer per se, and look, you're even smiling still, is an inspiration. So I really like your three virtues, as far as impact, inspire, and improve, because those are really great steps to a better life. And
I think so.
Starting with yourself, right?
Yes. And as a matter of fact, I'm so glad you mentioned that. But the first thing that I had to realize that I needed to get was movement. And for me, that's really how it all began. The momentum, that snowball of momentum in going from a thought to like, does somebody really see value in me? Do they really think that I can help them? Like, it went from that thought, like just this little timid guy fresh out of the military, into kind of snowballing into, wait a minute, I do have military experience. I have my country, and now I've been willing to put myself out there and help somebody else. So it started with a small group of real estate agents, because my wife is an agent, and this office full of ladies were like, kind of searching for something. Like, they were struggling with their weight, and it was a Saturday, and I was like, well, maybe I can help. And so I kind of brought in the flavor of my military experience and peppered it with my own little positive energy. Didn't know it at the time, but I was willing to serve, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And more people came. They wanted the weekends, then in the next weekend, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe I could do something with this. And I started thinking maybe I could get certified as a personal trainer, and it just kept snowballing. So I got that, started my dungeon right here on the other side of this petition. And that was back in 2007. And knock on wood, I've gotten over 100. This is all over the internet, but right now the last count was like 140 5-star reviews for one guy.
Oh, wow. Good.
I'm like, thank you. So it's proof that, I was, first of all, just willing to help, and then do what I do. And then everybody felt comfortable enough to share that experience with other people. And it just started growing from there.
Wow. Well, and like I mentioned, I've seen you present before. I've seen you in action on stage. I've seen you, following you everywhere and always. And I'm always so intrigued with, again, the inspiration that you bring into my life. So, which is the reason why I wanted you on this show, no doubt. So what do you suggest that people should do that's simple, exhilarating? You mentioned earlier about moving, and I believe we do need to get moving. We've been all stuck in our homes, and wearing these masks all the time and staying away from our loved ones and our friends and family. What can people do to help get them more energized, Xavier? Something simple and techniques that everybody like myself can do.
Okay, if you're ready, Deborah, if I have your permission, we're going to do this together.
Good.
I'm pulling up my phone. I'm going to pull up my little bit of music. And what we're going to do is I'm going to turn my timer on for just 1 minute.
Okay.
And you are standing already, right?
I am standing, ready to go.
You're ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to have you get into a squat position.
Okay.
Halfway down. Don't squat all the way down.
Okay.
And, hey, Google.
Not out of the camera view.
Yeah, you're still in the camera view.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my timer, set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. I hope everybody at home is doing this too. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. Definitely get up. Help
all right.
here.
So I'm going to hit the start button, and then
Okay.
I'm going to hit the music, and then me and you are going to do some shadow boxing.
Oh.
One of the best ways to get your body moving, get yourself energized, and you don't need a gym membership.
Oh, nice. Oh, I can't afford that right now. A lot of people can't afford that right now. So we'll have to do it right here.
All right. So the timer's on.
Okay.
The music's on. We're going to stop right here. We're going to squat. I want you in your fighting position, and let's move. Punch and punch and punch and punch and punch. Keep it going now. And work. Work those legs. Feel the fire in your thighs starting to build up. We got a little music going. We got the rhythm. We're moving it. We're grooving it. Stay right there. Keep it going. Yes. Now let's go.
You're burning already.
Yes, I know, right?
Oh, we're doing up. Okay.
Hit your guy in the gut. Let's go. Keep it moving. Work and work. We're coming up on less than 30 seconds left.
Oh my gosh.
Work it through it. Now let's go back to the punches.
Okay.
Work them. Work them. Work them. Keep it going. Almost there. Let's go. Put the fire in those thighs. Work them.
They're burning.
Work them. I know. That's good. Almost home. Almost there. Keep it going. And time.
Woo. Woo. That was a long minute.
Right? We did go just a little bit over a minute, but that's okay.
You know, my heart's already beating. I already feel energized. I'm thirsty. I need to get some water, right?
That is a great segue, because I need to know, Deborah, how much water are you drinking nowadays?
Well, I try to do at least 10 glasses a day, but then I swim in water quite a bit, so I drink a lot of that chlorinated water too. Is 10 pretty much what we should be drinking?
Well, you know, you always want to do your best, but 10 is 8 to 10 is a great place to start. So, for example, I talk a lot about habits. I call them habits of excellence, because here's another story, Deborah.
Oh, please share. Yes.
Once upon a time in my life, I didn't like water. You know what my water was? It was Mountain Dew. Yes.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't really like the taste of water because I thought it was boring. It had no taste. And I found Mountain Dew to be quite refreshing. But in all actuality, I was becoming addicted to the sugar rush. And on the inside, I was damaging my body. So that was one of the many other mediocre habits that I had back then that led to the wake-up call, which was the heart attack. Does that make sense?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I and that my brother drinks a lot of sugary drinks, and he's, 300 pounds. And if he could just cut that part out, I think he would be on his way to recovery on that. I have to agree.
You can actually, right? You can add years to your life just by switching up that one little habit.
Yeah.
We're talking like years, not days, but years potentially that you can add to your life. And just think about the quality of life once that starts to become better.
Right.
So that is the path that I wanted. And I knew the habits that I was subscribed to was not going to allow me to create it. So I had to make some changes.
Right. And I believe those changes. Well, I'm still windblown, and we even have some chat people saying, Lisa's like, hey, that was fun.
Hey, Lisa, I'm giving you a big Hercules.
Oh, Hercules. And it didn't take much at all. That's the the
No.
fun part about that. Are there any exercises that you recommend if you're just sitting at your desk and in front of your computer? Any tips or ways that people can?
Yeah. So here's another one that I shared with a client of mine. I do have her permission to use her name, but it's athlete and coach Gretchen. And big shout out to her. She's also
Gretchen.
But I shared a real simple technique that you can sit in your chair because she works from home as well. So every once in a while, say, like, I mean, I'm sure you're probably like this too, but once you get caught up in your work zone, that's all you do. And you just kind of get stuck there.
Yes.
Your body is asking for recess.
Right.
So every hour, this is a military tactic.
Ah.
When I was going through school and had to learn, my craft, every hour, if our instructor saw anybody sleeping, we would stand up. So, but we're going to do this one sitting down.
Okay.
All you have to do is take my arm. I'm going to take my arm and take it across my body. And I want to pull myself a nice little bear hug. And you're going to feel this stretch right there in that back shoulder. Now pull that elbow in tightly as you can. We're going to hold it for a few seconds.
Okay.
And let that one go.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the other side, same way.
Oh, that's a nice stretch.
Right? Now, this stretch that you're doing is not only stretching your muscles, but you're opening that cork to all your stress. I want you to imagine an old-fashioned bathtub, with the rubber plunger.
Right.
You want to take that plunger out and watch the water flow out. Well, that water is your stress.
Oh, okay.
So every time you do that, you're just thinking, thank you for the stress relief.
I hope everybody's doing this with us because that does feel really good.
Right.
And we that's something simple that we know about, but we're not utilizing, especially when we're all sitting in front of the computer all day watching all these Zoom and webinar meetings, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, this is great.
If you're watching this one, then yes, you definitely want to stay put. But
yes,
some other ones, it's kind of a 50-50.
Right. Well, thank you. That was excellent. And thank you all the viewers here for tuning in. And if you just now tuned in, we are here with Xavier Smith, the Fitness Dungeon, the CEO of Xcellent Solutions that definitely has a life story and boy, the successes of where he is right now is incredible. So if you have any questions about your struggles or challenges, by all means, take advantage of this right now and ask him any type of question. It's an open book. He's definitely available right now to do that. As a matter of fact, we did have a couple come in, and I am going to go ahead and show you one question that came from Lisa. She asked Xavier, is walking still the best exercise to do to restart your healthy life?
Not only yes, but heck yes. So this goes back to the way we are constructed, the way we were built as a human. But yes, when we get out into the sun, we get active, doing something as simple as walking. Now, if you want to wrap it up, we can do some brisk walking. But yes, the basic, very fundamental thing you can do is do more walking. And nowadays, because of technology and because of my desire to help, you can even get plugged into my world of online training, where all you need is like a Fitbit and you can connect it to the app. And on my app, I get to see all the things that you're doing, like the water you're drinking, the pictures of the food that you eat. And then at a certain level, you get access to me, a little bit of text and coaching right to your phone. Man, that does wonders for people because I plug them back into the very fundamentals of the things that they already know, but they don't necessarily do what they know. And so that's when a coach like me steps in to connect you back to your basics and get you that success that you know you deserve.
Oh, yeah. I have a tendency. Thanks, Lisa. That was great. Lisa's one of our big fans here.
Yes.
That joins us every week. And she's always got some great questions. And That one in particular, I walk 3 miles every morning.
Yay.
And boy, talking about exhilarating yourself. And it's just a beautiful thing to start your day out when you can walk.
Yeah.
You can run if you want, but walking somehow just helps you with your inner voice to get your day going. And that's what I'd utilize it for. And I walk a lot with my 82-year-old mother. Trying to keep up with her is a miracle, let me tell you.
That's awesome.
Once you get into walking, you really don't let it go after a while. It really is a good exercise form, just even a warm up for the day.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best habits of excellence that anyone could have, because it's low impact, easy to do, and you don't need a bunch of fancy equipment.
Right.
One thing about me is, it's one of my mottos is, I'm not really known for being fancy. I am known for being effective. And this is one of the best ways anyone could do, no matter what. And if you're not able to walk, then you can use the wheelchair. I mean, I take care of my sister-in-law. She is in a wheelchair, and we'll take her with us sometimes.
Sure.
There's really no excuse that you can have that I will accept. If you're working with me, we don't do excuses. We make progress, not excuses.
And results as well. And like you said, there's no excuse, meaning you don't have to have the equipment.
Nope.
As long as you keep moving, what more can you ask for today, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know this is such a great segue to, because you're having a lot of fun with your online resources. You have tons and tons of unique things that people would like to utilize, and yet also very affordable, and including just spending time with you. What are some of those things, the equipment, if people do want equipment? What are some of the resources you would like to share?
Okay, well, like I said, I mentioned it just a few minutes ago, but if you want to plug into like training and learning how to use your body as your gym,
okay,
or even if you wanted to use your gym, or if maybe you have a custom gym at your home, what I usually do is have a consultation with people, mostly online now because of our landscape being so different. But when people let me know what they do have, I can respond to them with a customized plan on how they can use everything that they have, whether it's whether they have no gym or they have the latest and greatest technology all available to them. I can help. From things like recovery. I'm a very big proponent of recovery, and power plate, like this little gadget right here. This is my power plate pulse. It's one of the best massage guns out there on the market. It comes in at 35% less than all the other top brands out there on the market. It's a lot quieter. And let me turn mine on just so you can hear, or maybe not hear. I have the power on. And I'm using it right now on a level 1. And I don't know if you can hear that. You might hear a small little hum. That's level 1.
Okay.
And you can, I don't know, there you go. You can see those little lights right there, indicates the level. I'm on level 2 right now, and I can still, I can massage my wife's feet with this thing. And
definitely.
I
was going to say, I would want somebody else to utilize that on me.
Right?
Like my husband.
Right? Simple things like this, it actually helps me live my mission. That the last part of my mission statement, which is improve. Well, this will help you improve your life for the better. We're talking quality of movement, increased blood flow, breaking up any muscle fascia, which is a big technical term for, really relaxing that muscle and increasing that blood flow. So you have increased range of motion, better quality of life. The motto that PowerPlate has is they want to help you perform better, prepare better, and recover quicker. And ever since I partnered with these guys, it's been very fun introducing people to solutions.
I'll be darned. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, if people want to up the ante a little bit and learn a little bit more and pay attention to what recovery is all about. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So you also mentioned about some solution things that people need to pay attention to.
Well, I'm going to share a little bit of my personal habits. What I like to do, how I like to start my morning is when I wake up and I realize I've been given a gift of a brand new day.
Correct.
That's step number one.
Okay.
Like, I can open my eyes and I can actually see.
Right.
Despite the fact that I was hit by a drunk driver when I was turning into my grandmother's house back when I was a sophomore in high school, without a helmet, mind you. So we're in a residential development, and I was on my moped trying to show off for a girl that moved in across the street from me, and thinking I'm bad, and I'm turning in. And the guy who's drunk in a yellow, they say it was a yellow VW Bug going about 45, 50 miles an hour on a 25 mile an hour zone. And I get knocked from my grandmother's house clear across a street over to my neighbor's house. So I'm in front of their house. That's like probably 70 feet. No helmet. I woke up. When I came to, I had a blood clot that was the size of another head.
Wow.
A broken collarbone on this side, and this little souvenir that kiloed up.
A little tattoo.
Yeah. So the doctors, he thought it was going to heal on its own, so he didn't think that it was worth patching up. So that left me in the hospital for 2 weeks. And so from that point on, I'm like, I started becoming a victim. And that was 17 years of, that incident, coupled with the fact that my parents kind of dumped me off on my grandparents. And I was very bitter, mad, frustrated, angry, and just thought the world owed me something. And as a result, I had this look on my face 24/7. And that was my defense mechanism, right?
Right.
Because I thought that if my parents could hurt me, then what's to stop a stranger from hurting me?
Right.
And I wore that look for that, again, 17-year jail sentence. Now, when I say I was incarcerated, I've never set foot in an actual jail cell. The incarceration I'm talking about was the incarceration of my mind.
Got it. Yep.
And I had to learn, the saying that I had to come up with was, if I want to live, I've got to learn how to forgive.
Excellent.
So from that point on, I got on the phone and listened to that voice that you spoke of earlier. That voice was telling me I needed to get on the phone and forgive my parents. And that's exactly what I did. Soon as I hung that phone up, I felt 100 pounds lighter. And that's when my life started changing for the better. Wow. And so when you speak of resources for depression, one of my habits, as I was telling you, is number one, waking up to the fact that I'm still here because I didn't have to be. Number two, spend some time in the sun. Now, what I do personally is what we call grounding, or AKA earthing. I'll take my shoes off and I walk around on my pavers, take my shirt off, and it's just me in the sun and my shorts, and I'm getting full sun exposure. Do you know, Deborah, that even though we are here in Arizona, most of Arizonans are vitamin D deficient?
Crazy, right?
Right?
I don't understand that.
When I learned that, because when I got with my naturopathic physician and discovered that I was indeed vitamin D deficient, that's when I started learning about earthing and grounding and full sun exposure. So that full sun exposure actually aids in the synthesis of vitamin D through the skin. So the more you can do that, the better. And of course, proper supplements. But synthesis of vitamin D, that's number one, especially for depression, because studies have shown that a lot of people that are in like clinical stage depression have a deficiency in vitamin D. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think it's also magnesium as well. So
interesting.
Natural ways to do that: get some sun exposure, no more than 20 minutes, and stay grateful. I keep both my feet planted in a river of gratitude. And no matter what's going on, circumstances around me, I get to choose if I'm going to be grateful. It's a practice.
Right.
A lot of people look at life the wrong way. They wait on circumstances to feel happy. when you actually have to feel happy, and then your circumstances are created as a result.
Right. Right. And yes, there's going to be some sadness along the way. You know, without happiness, there's not sadness. Without sadness, there's not happy. You have to just embrace the way life presents itself. But there's a lot you can control. There's a lot you can control. So tell us, those are great ideas. I did not know about the sun. That's, especially here in Arizona, that just blows my mind.
Right.
What do you feel that, how can people actually have fun during these difficult times right now? We're living in a crazy time. What are some of the things you would recommend? What does fun look like these days?
That's a great question. And number one thing that comes to my mind is you have to be willing to change your paradigm. The paradigm that we existed under, that was true 9 months ago,
right?
It doesn't exist right now.
Right.
There is a different landscape. Therefore, it's our individual responsibility to pick the thoughts and maybe get uncomfortable because your old way of being has changed. Wow. So maybe we can't go into a place like, I don't know, you're a big Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
You probably watched their win last night.
Oh my gosh. I was
but
thrilled.
it's a different energy because there's really nobody in the stands.
Right.
Okay. So that part we can't change. What we can change is our reaction to it. So if you are open to being slightly uncomfortable and willing to connect with people like you and I, and just forget about the embarrassment. Like, we're learning something new for the first time and we're going to get better. If you can take that mindset into whatever you do and be willing to learn and not consider it a failure, you have no other choice but to succeed. It may take some time, but you have to go into it with the right mindset. And that's what's been helpful for me, is just being willing and able to learn on the fly.
Yep.
And just have fun. And you have to choose what your fun looks like. Like to me, this right here, connecting with you, like we've been friends for some time now. And every time we connect, it's always fun. Fun is my middle name.
Yeah. And you know, to discover fun, sometimes you have to mix it up. And for me, and you and I talked about this before the show, it's sometimes just about getting back to the basics. And part of the basics might be stay off social media for a little while. You know, maybe cut that out a little bit and start paying attention to what is going to work for you as fun. Just because you're watching other people on social media having fun, that works for them. But what works for you when it comes to fun? I think a lot of people try to keep up with the Joneses on especially on social media, and that's not fair to yourself. You have to really hone down and ask yourself, what does fun look like to me?
Mm-hmm. Well, you bring up a great point. You hit the nail on the head. And a lot of people, like when I do life coaching and people hire me because they are stuck at a certain frequency, or they're looking for some advice on how to get out of their funk. A lot of times it's a matter of choosing what you want. Believe it or not, Deborah, people can come to me all day long and tell me what they don't want. But when as soon as I asked them, okay, I've heard all your complaints. Now tell me, what is it that you do want?
Oh, that's a twist. That's a great question.
And a lot of times I get
they don't know.
Exactly. So that part right there, that's where we began our coaching, is because together we get to decide what my version, I call it Xcellent, spelled with an X, but together we get to decide what your excellence looks like. And I just get to be the guide from the side, because I can help you get there.
Sure.
I can help you create it, but you still have to do the work.
Correct. And with your expertise, there's no doubt that you know how to get people from A to B and beyond. There's no doubt about that. Wow, that is just golden nugget information that I never even knew. But I know you're very successful with the clients that you do have, and just those tidbits are just, again, just a golden nugget for each and every one of us. So why don't you share with us some of the where people can go. How can they connect with you? What is some of the things that you provide? Because I'm getting all kinds of questions in the chat box that I know we're going to run out of time with. Gosh, the comments are just huge that I'm looking at right now. So I know people are going to want to get in touch with you. Even, Lisa was back on this again. She was talking about the vitamin deficiency of D, makes sense all year long, right? It's been seriously hot here. So why hasn't people been taking care of that, for sure?
Yeah.
Just some of the comments there.
It's a total shock to me when I learned, being in the Arizona sun almost daily, but we're just not getting enough. And, there's other sources like your proper food. We can get into that because what I like to do is help people learn how they can do this on their own. And to be honest with you, totally 100% transparent. I love coaching. I love connecting with people, but I want to put them in the best position that they can be in so they actually eventually won't need me.
Right.
So I help them gain their independence. And if I've done a good job, they can help like turn me on to someone else who needs me. But ultimately, I want them to be able to have the wings so they can fly on their own.
Oh, that's great.
I've shared with you a link that your people can get to. This one is the mental health. It's all pre-done. Everything that my team and I have done, we put all of our knowledge, all of our care into the email series. So you're going to get short, bite-sized, actionable steps that you could actually take right from your email, coming right to your inbox. All you have to do is open it and then take action on what you learn. And then that's just one pathway of how you can get yourself out of it. Now, if you want to go to a deeper level, there's always opportunity to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on my website. And I'm still putting that together. But MrXLSmith.com is where you can find me and reach out to me. I have plenty of opportunities for you to learn a little bit more about me. I'm all over social media. So it just depends on what level you're at, because I'm here to meet you right where you are, and then we can get you to where you'd like to be.
Right. And of course, you don't have to be live in person. You Zoom, you connect people all over the world to work with them. So why not take advantage of it, especially right now when majority of us are trying to get off the couch, trying to get motivated. The step number one here is to contact Xavier Smith. That's what I believe.
I love it. Thank you. And I'll even give you a bonus. One thing that everyone should be doing right now, because I'm quite confident that you're not doing enough of this: drink more water.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's key. Not just in the summertime, but even in the wintertime, right?
Oh gosh, even more important then, because I was telling you off camera that our body is comprised of cells to the tune of trillions, okay? And they all need to have that hydration because that is how they communicate. So we're talking things from avoidance of migraine headaches to the knee pain that keeps registering every other day that you get out of bed. Well, if you want a life where that is like you can live pain-free, you might want to start with water and replace all that junk with high-quality H2O.
Wow, and that makes a lot of sense. I even heard that the colder the water fights against your warm body, the more calories you actually burn. I've always learned that. I thought, wow, not just regular warm water or tap water, got to have really cold water to burn those calories.
Yeah, that's definitely a bonus. That's we're talking thermogenesis and the energy that it takes for your body to bring that water temperature down. That does take a little bit of CPU usage or operating power. Now, personally, I like going for volume. So when I got up this morning, the first thing I did was down one of these. And I consider myself a professional water drinker. So I would say within 30 seconds, this whole bottle will be gone.
Wow.
And I challenge myself to get. I'm almost catching up to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He drinks 4 gallons a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to take a lot more bathroom breaks throughout the day for me, that's for sure, because my
Right.
bladder is very weak. So, but hey, it's worth it. It gets me up out of the chair and the computer. So
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Wow, this has been an unbelievable segment. I really, really appreciate you, Xavier Smith, not only being here on the show, but as a special friend across town. I know I need a passport to go and see you, but we do definitely need to get together. And I've got to be put through one of your fitness dungeon workouts. I would love that. So everybody definitely contact Xavier Smith. If you want additional information, contact me or contact Xavier directly. And wow, again, thank you so much. What a wealth of information. And it's been a great honor to have you here on this show. And I'll keep punching. Thank you, my man.
All right.
Well, I hope that you actually enjoyed this segment with Xavier talking about impact, inspire, and improve. That's what we all need to do. And if you really enjoyed this show and you want to see it again and learn and catch up on the tips that Xavier talked about, by all means, all you have to do is go to the YouTube channel or the Hospitality Today Facebook page. And if you have any questions or would like to be on the show or know somebody that would like to be on the show or sponsor the show, please email us at hello@hospitalitytoday.com. But if anything, join our online community so that you'll hear more about upcoming shows and resources. So now, until next week, which we definitely are looking forward to getting to, I'd like to introduce to you who we will have on the show. Ralph Robinson, CAE CMP, Director of Meetings and Affiliate Relationships for the Florida Apartment Association. Ralph will give us an in-depth look to the association market, the challenges his meetings have faced this year, his perspective, his opinion and viewpoint on the future of meetings, and who he credits as a savior to his now virtual meetings, and so much more. We've got a lot to talk about, so don't miss next Tuesday's conversation with Ralph Robinson right here on HTL. I'm Deborah Gardner. Have a productively successful week. Thank you for joining us, and by all means, thank you for being here on Hospitality Today Live. Woohoo!